All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. After much speculation, the potential American League MVP season for Los Angeles Angels star Shohei Ohtani has come to an end, and with it, maybe his time with the Halos as well. Otani suffered a UCL tear in his pitching arm last month, while it was followed by an oblique injury earlier this month. And with Shohei looking to cash in over the winter in free agency, the time has come for him to have surgery to repair that UCL and get his focus on 2024. Now, the Angels being out of playoff competition to me has made it easy for Otani to now step aside. As we know that he's probably not going to get the 500 million that people were speculating due to the fact that he has the arm injury, but still he's still definitely going to get a big payday. Now, I doubt that we're going to see Otani pitch next year, but he still might be a very coveted designated hitter. But with that said, the big question is, has Otani played his last game for the Angels? I believe it to be true. And I know that some people are going to try to make something out of him cleaning out of out his locker. Some people aren't. But the bottom line is the Angels cannot get into a bidding war with some of these other teams with deep pockets. I think the Mets are going to make a push at Shohei, not guaranteeing that they're going to get him. I think the same thing could be said for the Yankees as well as the San Francisco Giants and Los Angeles Dodgers. And especially in the case of the Giants, they are so desperate to have a star on their team right now. You think about it, they were all in and trying to get Aaron Judge last year, and it didn't work out. Remember, they offered Judge more money than the Yankees did. You also think about them being so close to Carlos Correa and several other free agents over the last couple of years, and the Giants really want that star to put on the black and orange for them. Now, if, and this is a possible if Otani does leave the the Angels, does Mike Trout follow suit? I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, Trout is under contract, yeah, but I mean, obviously the Angels would have to trade him, and I think they could possibly trade him because this is a team right now that needs to start over. And granted, Mike Trout is not the same Mike Trout that we saw several years ago as the injuries are beginning to catch up with him, but still, they can get something back for him. And this is an Angels team to me that is in desperate need of a rebuild. You're talking about a squad that has not made the postseason. You got to go all the way back to 2015. And ever since then, it's just been nothing but losing seasons for the most part. We saw the Angels go all in at the trade deadline this summer, trying to make moves to make a push for the postseason. They gave up some prospects in the process. And then right after that, once they went on that losing streak, right after acquiring all of those players, then the next thing you know, they were putting some of them on waivers. So basically, you gave away some of your prospects. Then you decided a couple of weeks later to throw in a towel on the season. Shohei got hurt, so it was just a recipe for disaster. But nonetheless, I think that the Angels need to just scrap it all and just try to build from within because we've seen them too often over the last 10 years or so go out there and try to make splashes in free agency, and it has not worked out. Justin Upton, Anthony Rendon, CJ Wilson, Josh Hamilton, and Albert Pujols. All of these guys got big time deals in free agency to come join the Angels, and it just has not worked out. Now, getting back to Shohei, how coveted will he be this winter? I definitely think he's going to get more than his fair share of intrigue, even though that he's injured. I will say this though, don't put it out of the realm of possibilities that Shohei might sit back and say, "Hey, let me just take 2024 off and get healthy and come back for 2025." I guarantee you, a healthy Shohei after next season can go out there and showcase himself and still get a pretty hefty payday. And I'll tell you like this, he'll definitely be at the top of that free agent class as well. So there's a lot of things on the table for this young man as this is about to be the arguably the most important decision of his professional baseball career. For the Angels, they're at the crossroads right now because they've tried, and it just has not worked out. And this organization just needs to go back to the drawing board. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with Shohei, whether he decides to sit out next year in rehab, whether he just becomes an expensive designated hitter. I don't see him taking a short-term deal just for 2024, maybe 2025. I think he's going to be all in, obviously, as will his representatives in getting that long term deal. But one thing is for sure, I really do believe in my gut that Shohei has played his last game for the Angels, even with this injury. I mean, there's still a pretty good chance that he does win MVP because you're talking about a guy that won 10 games as a starting pitcher this year. Also belted 44 home runs, 95 runs batted in, a 304 batting average, along with a 412 on base percentage. But nonetheless, the game's biggest and brightest star, more than likely, I don't know where he's going to play next year. But one thing I will say for sure, it definitely won't be with the Angels. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take this time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on the X, formerly known as Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it'll be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. Now you can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin, and I am signing off. And I'm saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.